It is Thursday, September 25th, almost Halloween time. I say that because as I'm sitting across here, my co-host here, Ryan Hammer, we got on the full episode today. We had this. Now we had you back on a full episode a while ago. It was us three with me, you, and G. But this is like the first, I think, episode with just you and I. I feel great about this. How you feeling about this?
I believe so, and I feel great as well. I am the new G Wizzy. That's what the streets are saying. So
What do you think, or how do you take the criticism of podcasts where they say you have to have a generic white man on the podcast at all times? I mean, all great basketball podcasts have them. I mean, you
yeah,
have the three man pod with JJ Reddy. You got the one guy who's on Paul George's podcast. See, now that I think puts you at a disadvantage, Ryan, because you're one of the best to do it at this podcast game,
I,
sir.
I am one of the best generic white men to be in the podcast. Dude, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, and I'll
Yeah.
take it. And my podcast, the blue blooded one, is two generic white men. So maybe I have to spice that up a little bit.
Yeah, you're changing up the game a little bit. I do got to put you on blast for 1 second here because I did bring up the fact that it's almost October because you, my friend, are drinking a pumpkin. Where's the pumpkin
I
latte?
finished it. But I finished it. Go back and watch the short segments on the YouTube page, and you'll see it.
What better banter than to ask you how you feel about one, Halloween decorations up before October hits, and then two, just fall flavored things, pumpkin spice, anything involved with that before October because I'm anti it in general. Until it hits October 1st, I'm not allowing it.
Those to me are two different questions.
Okay.
The decor and the decorations for like Halloween, that's got to be October. I'm firm on that. Like it's a whole you got a whole month of that, right? You got a whole entire month like you do with like Christmas and Hanukkah and the holidays and stuff like that. October 1st hits, you can put pumpkins and things outside. Now, the fall decorations, the leaves, the pumpkin spice lattes, that kind of things, I'm okay with that in September because September 22nd, which was 2 days ago as of recording this, is the start of fall officially. So it's fall, y'all. Like that's what you got to go by. And also pumpkin spice and pumpkin flavored things taste good, especially the coffees and the candles. Don't get me started on like a nice vanilla pumpkin candle. I'm looking at one. It's lit right now. So
All right. Well, it's good to know that the Hammer household is smelling very, very festive for the fall season. Look, I love fall season. I'm all about throwing on a nice hoodie, nice pair of sweats, and being comfy. So I'm all with you on that regard. But it's great to have you on today's episode. I'm very excited to get into it. We got some great topics today. As always, though, we are going to start today with the YouTube comment of the day. And this one comes from Burner Ball, who said, I'm proud of Dion for getting the Providence home court advantage for the Big East. I think Dion did an episode where he talked about the best home court advantage in the Big East.
mm,
Ryan, I know you're very big on, you've been to a lot of different places. Obviously an avid college basketball fan. Where do you lean as far as Big East and maybe like, arenas and fandoms and hardest places to play? Because I mean, we've seen the dunk gets crazy. I don't even know what they call the dunk anymore, but the dunk
I
is
think so.
wild.
Friar. That's my answer.
Fry's your
Friar.
answer.
That's my answer. Everyone, Providence fans are so funny on Twitter. They haven't even been good, and they're like starting to be a little more normal because they know they're not good, haven't been good, and they just say Friar, and I'm just like Friar.
Fryer every
That's
time,
it.
and with the pointing emoji every single time.
Yeah.
I think the world might burn if Providence ever does actually like. I'm not saying they've been bad, but like imagine a world where we get like a Providence wins the Big East,
Oh
Providence
my
makes a
God,
tournament run.
that'd be detrimental to society. Like the Northeast up here would explode.
Literally, I don't know if it'd be able to handle it, but I'm all for it because I love chaos and chaos is a part of college basketball. Moving on, we will move to the Discord. Everyone, please join the Discord. Discord is one of the best ways to support Supers Media and everything that we do with our everyday content. And one of the perks of being in the Discord is that you get your comments read every single day on the show. We will start today with Aiden, who says the preseason college basketball superlatives. So he wants the answers to these superlatives most likely to leave their team midseason, most likely to carry their mediocre team to the tournament, most likely to lead the country in triple doubles, and then most likely to lead the country in technical fouls, but you can't pick Chad Baker Mazzara.
Oh, that's not fair. Come on.
You know what? Hey, he asked the question. Aiden's the way to do it. But all right, we'll start with this.
Fine.
Most likely to leave their team mid-season.
Someone on Memphis, I don't know who.
Yeah, any Memphis player. I
Yeah,
also don't know when this comment came through, but I don't know if Bruce Pearl counts, but like he did. And I don't know if coaches counts, but he's gone.
could
But
be an Auburn, could be an Auburn player then.
could be an Auburn player. And then a little foreshadowing here. Who could carry their mediocre team to the tournament?
Um, I don't think they're going to be mediocre, but on paper and talent wise, they are. I'll say Bennett Sturt in Iowa.
See, I was gonna be too good for me, but like that.
That's not. Maybe that's a cop out then.
Yeah, but okay. Also, but like who to
Josh Hubbard.
to carry a mediocre like you got to be special. If your team's got to be something. I don't know if one player is just carrying a mediocre team.
Josh Hubbard's already been doing it. So
Honestly, good answer. Let's go with Josh Hubbard in
okay.
Mississippi State, especially with all the pieces they had left. And I'm
Yeah,
watching Chris Jans, by the way. I just want that to want
got
that
your
to
eye
be.
on him.
Yeah, would
I,
PJ Haggerty count for Kansas State?
I guess so. Yeah, they're not going to be great,
Yeah, I think I'll
but
give
yeah,
him.
probably makes
Yeah, I'll give
sense.
him the mediocre. I'll go with PJ Haggerty. Lead the country in triple doubles.
That's a crazy question. I don't know if Braden Smith because of the assist totals is probably one. I'll say Darren Peterson. He's like 6'6", I think. I'm not gonna say yeah, he's like 6'6". So I'll say Darren Peterson.
You know, it should be Braden, but Matt Painter always takes him out in games before he gets triple double. So like he has a hater basically kind of in his back pocket. I won't let him do that. I like that answer. Let's go with Darren Peters, especially given like what that Kansas roster is. He's going to need to do a lot. He's going to need to do everything. I do think that is a good lead. And then to lead the country in text, no Chad Baker Mazara.
Can I ask you to go first?
Of course you can. Lead the country in text
I
with
have one idea.
no
I
Chad
don't know.
Baker Mazara. Mm, that's
I got two in my back pocket actually.
the fact that you got two off the top of your head scares me, but I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with no, it can't be a Michigan State player because they know Tex will get him put on the bench, so we
That's
don't want to do that. I was gonna say Jeremy Fears.
no, I'll help you out here. The answer is probably Trey Holloman now that he plays for Will Wade.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's definitely Trey Allen. It
Yeah,
is. Of course it, man.
there you go.
That dude is one of the best talkers in the game. He's definitely gonna talk.
Yeah, and Tex might be encouraged in the Wolfpack. Who knows?
Yeah, you know what? If in another life where Will Wade and I weren't in a battle, we would be really good friends. But I just gotta continue to carry this on. Just Snacky says Greg slash the crew on an all-time pissing off Illini fans heater right now. We need some actually good news that has a no negative twist on it ASAP. You know what? I don't know what those negative comments were, Just Snacky, so I can't put that out there. I will say this about Illinois basketball: y'all need to get healthy.
Mhm.
Stojakovic being out. Obviously, Ty Rodgers is already out. And also, Indiana football just put the belt straight to your behind in front of the whole world to see. I mean, it was nasty, nasty work, but
No
you'll
doubt.
bounce back. It's okay. War Chant says, as an Illini fan, I'm not mad at Cinetti's comments about Saturday's game and about how Iowa is a tougher opponent. It's all true. Cinetti's a great coach and a Class A prick, but he can back it up.
Didn't see
Hopefully,
that coming.
hopefully the big games this year, Cincinnati plays to win instead of playing not to get blown out. Iowa defense will slow them down, but they will still beat Iowa easily. Ryan, I don't know if I talked to you about college football at all. Where do you stand on the Indiana and Kurt Cincinnati thing?
By the way, I thought that comment was going to be mostly positive, and then it took a turn that I did not expect.
Immediately, I thought it was all good until I
But
got to that middle
yeah,
sentence.
why would it be nice? I think Kurt Signetti is awesome because imagine taking Indiana football when he had it and getting it to where it is now is one of the hardest things to do in college sports. So I give love to him, and I think if you want to get fired up throughout the way, then go for it. And I can understand Illinois fans being very bitter right now. So
Yeah, makes sense. Did you see the question that Greg posed on Twitter by any chance about who's the better coach in their respective sport between Matt Painter and Kurt Cincinnati?
I did not see that.
Do you have an answer to that?
I mean, the answer is Matt Painter.
Okay, I said it's Matt Painter too. Greg said
Yeah.
Kurt Cincinnati though.
I'm also not like super tapped in with like deep knowledge of college football, but I'll still say Matt Painter
Yeah,
because they would compete for national titles, not
yeah.
win, but compete.
And we also respect Matt Painter here on this podcast. Let's see. Moving on down here, I must remind folks there is an episode discussion board. We do not discuss in the comment section. Everyone get it together. Only comments in the comment section. Moving on here, we have Purdue Fox who says, if you were in the Olympics and you had to do one of the following to win a gold medal, which would you rather have to do? Sink a 7-foot putt, hit one free throw, a penalty kick in soccer, a penalty shot in hockey, kick a 25-yard field goal, or steal a base in an MLB setting.
I'd be one of the best gold medalists in American sports history if this was the option.
Why so?
Maybe not one of the best. 25-yard field goal, I can do that with my eyes closed and with my left foot, I think.
Wha- is that the off foot too?
Yeah, I'm a righty. I should have said that.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute, you lefty on me? So you're hitting a 25-yard
So
field goal with the off foot?
so it's funny. I'm a basketball guy. I'm a soccer player, but I'm gonna take that field goal because uh I think kicking a 25-yard field goal, although like obviously with a team and pads, or what's the situation there?
I think it's a real like setting in a game. Like they want to
Okay.
know what you would like, which one of these moments, maybe not even that you're most confident, but which one of these moments would you want to be the moment that wins you a gold medal?
Oh, interesting. That's a different story because like a penalty kick in soccer would be the one that is easiest for me, and kicking a field goal. Free throw I should be able to make pretty easily also.
Hmm.
Um, but like a golf putt would be kind of crazy because like there's no one, it's just you. There's no
Right.
one else there. Like free throw also, but there's no defenders, nothing.
Right.
There's zero on the court. So I think a putt would be cool, but I would kick the field goal or a penalty kick. What about
Yeah,
you?
I think I'm choosing penalty kick for celebration purposes because
Oh, okay.
I hit the PK and I got a whole pitch you know what I'm saying? I can run to the corner, I can sue, I can take
Yeah,
off my
what's your
jersey.
celly? What's your celly?
You know what? I'm a messy guy, so I don't necessarily, rock with the sue as much. I don't really even know what I do. I probably do the messy where I took off the jersey and just maybe held
That'd
up
be
my
tough.
jersey and like held up the back of the name. That's a good one.
I like
I
the
like the
Mbappe one. Mbappe does like he just goes.
It's one of these. You know what? I like the little Rashford where he hits this, or the Memphis Depay where he plugs his ears. Those
You
are
can
those
take
are
your shirt off too. Like there's no yellow cards because if that
yeah,
gets you the
the game's
medal, it's
over.
it's over.
Game's
Although we don't
over.
have that in soccer unless you're in like college. They do golden goal, but maybe at the end of a shootout, the winning PK, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it'd be special. Yeah, give me the PK. All right. Big Three and Snapping Turtle says, Cart, Greg's been trash talking about you this week. He's been talking about you and how he's been talking about you, how he talks about TKR. He likes him, but he doesn't trust his entire game. He thinks he's only good at a couple things. Have a week, big dog. Prove him wrong and show him you can run the show while he's out. Listen, I'm gonna try my best. I don't do the show hosting thing, all right? I know my role. I play it well. I do what I have to do. There's a good chance this channel goes to hell in these 3 days, but that's okay because I can at least say I tried half my best. I'm not gonna try my best if you're gonna keep trash talking me, Gregory. I'll see you. I know your number, and I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks. So please watch your tone. Mutant Matt says, Dion, how did you become a Mountaineers fan? Always like West Virginia. They be my Big 12 team? So we don't have Dion here today, but I gotta ask you this. Are you a is it Ross Hodge? Is that who's at West Virginia right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you a Ross Hodge guy?
I like him. I don't think they're going to be great this year, but I like him for like long-term purposes.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do that. But since I do have you here and I feel like I need to go off of this question, what is your official alliance in the college basketball? Like obviously you're a fan of the game. Are you like but you got to ride or die for one school that's gonna make or break you. Do you have one?
I'm a Maryland fan. Yeah.
Maryland, I
I like
had to make
the
sure.
my biases have gone to zero in my opinion at least over the course of the year. But also like you know this too, covering everything all the time. Obviously you guys are MSU and Michigan, but like you grow to like certain programs and maybe not dislike other ones, just like certain ones more, I feel like it is, right? Like I love Houston. I'll always love Houston as long as it's the Sampson family running that ship. That's just how it is. So like there are programs that I tend to be like I hope they do well, but I don't really care that much.
Yeah, listen, in this space, you tend to just watch so much basketball that you just, you watch so many other teams. Like I love Illinois basketball, I love Purdue basketball now. I even love like Houston and all these other teams. Like I just watch so much of them that I end up liking those teams. So yeah, but at the end of the day, the boys in green will always have my heart forever and ever. I don't know why I have an 1855 Big Ten champ. I hate basketball history. That's against my brand. I
That's
need to take
that's
that. I need to take that down.
we need a new banner, aka they need to give you a new banner.
Please, somebody
Yeah, from
out
last
there.
year. They got one from last year.
Yeah,
There you go.
just send me a replica. I'll be right here. Y'all know where to
Exactly.
find me. Sleeve Nash says, Well, well, well. Look who it is. Dion and Carter. One of you shows me respect. One of you doesn't. Carter, I know you're not high on me, but I'm high on Michigan State this year. Top three in the Big Ten. Book it. And Dion, like I said, you get the plane ticket. I'll handle the rest. Come down to Champaign for a game. You've got my word. Sleeve. I didn't say anything about not showing you respect. All I said is that I am inherently not an optimist about my team. I like to play it low. I like to see what happens. I don't want to just come on here and be like Michigan State's gonna be a top three team. Michigan State's gonna win the Big Ten. I'd rather just let it play out, let it see where it falls, uh, and just kind of let it play out like it plays. Ryan, where do you have Michigan State in your preseason Big Ten?
I haven't done it yet, but it won't be one because
Fair.
Purdue's there. It'll be top five probably. Probably, I don't know. Probably top five for Big Ten play, but
Yeah.
not top five for overall power rankings, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh,
But I
100.
also I learned, by the way, that Dion is he's named after Deion Sanders, and they call him Anytime. That's his nickname.
When did this occur?
I think it was yesterday. Dion said that they like prime time. Deion Sanders is prime time. He was named after Deion Sanders. So instead of prime time, he was anytime because he was ready to play at any time, 7 a.m., 10 p.m. I said that's crazy tough. That's
That's a,
crazy.
that's an insane comment. And I can't endorse that.
Well, we can't. Yeah, but you also can't. You can't refute it. Like
Yeah,
I didn't grow up with him.
that's why I'm not the biggest fan of it. I need to fix that. That
Got to
can't.
call his youth coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make some calls. Vinay says, can we get a, you know what? We are gonna do this. Just so everyone knows, Dion's name is spelled Deion. There's some Dions in here. There's also someone who spelled it like, I don't even know what y'all are doing, but Dion is spelled Deion if you want to address him as such. Vinay also said, when's the next Twitch stream? I need to use my Prime sub. Yeah, Dion's been slacking on his college football. He needs to get on there and hop in. Ryan, you a video game player?
Big time.
We might need to get you. Or what's your game of choice though?
Right now, I play a little bit of college football game, but I've played my fair share of things before. A lot, basically every sports game, little Apex, Fortnite back in the day too. I get busy, I get jiggy.
All right, we might have to get you on and get some runs on this Twitch. That'll definitely be fun. And then last one of the day, Zaboombafoo says, "What's your favorite sports memory?"
Uh, like in part being there, or like,
Yeah, it's open ended. You can go every way you
all
want
right,
with it.
mine was being there. 20, I forget what year it was exactly. So Neymar Brazil World Cup was 2014, I believe. So
Mhm.
I want to guess this is around 2012 or 13 before the Brazil World Cup. Neymar had just come up on the scene. Messi and Argentina played against Brazil and Neymar in MetLife Stadium. That's a heated rivalry, if anyone knows.
Oh
It
yeah.
was it finished 4-3, and Messi had a hat trick and he scored a banger in the 88th minute right in front of me to win the game. And he went and celebrated with Maradona, RIP, who was the coach at the time. And big soccer fan growing up, huge Messi fan. That was like pinnacle of my life so far. Sorry to my wife, but so far,
I mean, with all due respect, that is a
yeah.
special moment, and that's crazy. I do remember that game. That game was nuts, and that was like prime, just like Neymar, Messi, like that whole like thing was just
Dude,
that was
it
just
was, yeah.
top tier soccer. I'm trying to think, what's the I mean, going to the Final Fours have also been good. I've been able to see some really good ones. The one in New Orleans was really fun, seeing, the North Carolina team take down Duke. That was incredible. And then they have to
Mm.
come back in the championship game. Um, uh, what, I'll say this seeing the Lions go to a playoff game and win a playoff game,
Oh,
that's that meant something to me, man. I watched my football team go 0-16, man.
that's
I literally watched my team be the laughing stock of all sports for so long, and winning that game, and then also like beating Matt Stafford too in that other game that the next like just special. So I'm gonna say the Lions home playoff victories are the two games that just stuck. I almost shed a tear that first
that's
home
valid.
playoff victory.
I would probably cry if I saw the Jets win a home playoff game. I'd probably cry.
You're probably who's your favorite Jets quarterback of all time?
Justin Fields.
Can we respect Mark Sanchez on this podcast?
It's Sanchez or like low key. I loved Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he blew our week 17 1 year to go to the playoffs. I think we were playing in Buffalo, and he like really screwed it up when they weren't good. But the Bills, um, I guess Mark Sanchez first 2 years, two AFC Championship games, but like that was like Bart Scott, Darrell Revis type shit. So,
Yeah, it never. If only Zach Wilson just did what he had to do,
stop,
man.
stop, stop,
He
stop.
could have saved. He could have saved. He could have saved us all.
I'm not like, I love seeing Geno Smith and Sam Darnold succeed. I do not want to see Zach Wilson succeed, genuinely. Genuinely. So,
I 100 respect that take. Shout out to the Discord. That does it for the Discord comments today. Make sure you join the Discord, and like I said, get your comments read every single day on the show. Next time, I'm gonna do a better job in planning in the Discord. I'm gonna let y'all know ahead of the time that Ryan's gonna be on because that's my job to let people know that you're gonna be on because they like to cater the questions to who's gonna be on the episode. So next time, hand of accountability, Greg. I'll be better for you out there trying to hold me to this TKR standard, which is insane by you, but we will make it better. But without further ado, let's get to the show.
Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too? Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets to like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion.
Topic number one today is a fun debate that was brought to us by the good, the honest, the great Chili Donovan over on Twitter World. Uh, Ryan, before we get into this, any guesses on who Chili Donovan is? I feel like there's been discussion amongst the masses on who it actually is. Do you have any guesses?
I don't. I know there was a trail going back to one of the assistants somewhere down south in Florida or something. So
Hmm.
I thought about it for a while, and then I said, "Why? It's okay. It's better not knowing." So I let it go in my brain.
That's definitely the way to approach it. One day I'll find out though. Just let it be known.
Yeah.
But he had a fun debate going on in his Discord about who is winning a single elimination tournament between the last eight national champions. And he had a bracket. So this bracket plays out as such: you have 2025 Florida versus 2022 Kansas. You have 2024 UConn versus 2017 UNC. You have 2019 Virginia versus 2023 UConn and 2021 Baylor versus 2018 Villanova. So,
What's the seating on this bracket?
yeah, you
Like
know what? Unfortunately, I'm not a member of the Discord, so I can't give you what the official seating is, but it does seem like it's a little bit, maybe a little bit off here, given
it might
what some of these
be.
matchups are.
I think it might be based on like Ken Palm finish on like net rating. It's that's my guess because Florida, like this year's teams were like really high, I know, and UConn I know dominated obviously last year or 2 years ago. So that's my guess, but I don't
All
know.
right, you know what? We'll go with that because that sounds like a better guess than I could ever have. But all right, so we have this bracket. You have Florida versus Kansas, like I said. UConn versus Tennessee, UNC. We'll go ahead and start at the top here on this bracket. You have 2025, which is last year's Florida team, versus 2022 Kansas. That was Ochai. Christian Brown was on that team, I believe, too.
Yeah,
As a younger player. Was Jalen Wilson on that team?
he was, but he wasn't like him yet.
Yeah, that was before
Yeah.
he came in the next year and was like an All-American level player.
Yeah. He took over for the Ochai role basically.
Basically,
I
yeah.
think they had
So
like McCormick was their center probably.
McCormick was the center, I think, on that team.
Okay.
Was KJ Adams a player? No, I don't think
I don't think so yet.
No,
He might have
KJ
been
wasn't there
maybe
yet.
deep in the roster, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I don't want to do a knee-jerk reaction here. I picked 2025 Florida pretty easily here.
Sort of. I don't think it's knee jerk in a bad way at all. I think it's an easy answer.
Yeah, I think that you have Walter Clayton, how good that team is, and also like just looking up as like in a matchup standpoint here, I don't know if Kansas's front court could hold up at all against Florida's. Just like with the
Yeah.
rebounding that they have and the size and then I think they had the best player in that game too. Like I think
Walter for
Walter
sure.
Clayton's the better player with all due respect to Ochai, but
Yeah,
yeah,
they
Walter Clayton's the best player on the floor.
and Kansas, I remember, would not have won that title if it wasn't for Remy Martin. Remember him?
Yeah. Oh.
Arizona State legend, Remy Martin. So I like when a game comes down to the line and you need Remy Martin hit a shot versus Walter Clayton demon time, I'm gonna go that way, and I don't think the game would have been close either. So I'm with you on Florida.
All right, we got Florida moving on in that game. Now to the next game. Florida, that team will take on the winner of 2024 UConn and 2017 UNC.
Again, I feel like it's an easy answer.
Is UConn.
Yeah, they like their season, let alone not even looking at like player for player matchup base, which I think is gonna go to them also. That team was stupid good. They dominated literally basically everybody the entire year, except for I think it was Creighton on Dollar Beer Night.
Yeah,
So
and then also in that game, Dan Hurley let them know that he's gonna get his. That game honestly spurred a little bit in Dan Hurley. Probably the hate fueled him to get to that point. I mean, when you talk about those UConn teams, and we talked about it here on the channel before, they're in discussion for the great basketball teams in college basketball history.
especially in 2024, like when you look at a when you in like 20 years from now, you'll look back on legacy of a team and you'll look at like how many wins they had, the point differentials, which we know they had the point differential in the Elite Eight, like the seed they were and everything. Where 2023 UConn will get underplayed too much because they ended up being a four because they had that cold patch in Big East play in like January, February. But 2024 UConn, there's nothing on God's green earth that can be like that was a hole for them. Like they were just unbelievable. So.
Yeah. All right. So that's our first Final Four matchup on the one side. We'll move to the other side of the bracket to establish the other one. We have 2019 Virginia versus 2023 UConn.
This one's I feel like more a discussion, right?
It's a little bit of a I mean, with that 2019 Virginia team, one they had a chip on their shoulder after getting embarrassed the year before that. But I mean, you had Ty Jerome, Kyle Guy, DeAndre Hunter. They had was it
Diakite,
Diakite on the team. Yeah, like
Diakite. They yeah, but like they had the Purdue game, right?
uh-huh.
That they would have lost almost. They had a double dribble in the Final Four or title game, what it was, and like they, I don't want to say they're fraudulent champions, but like they're the shakiest champion with like Kansas and like 2023 UConn was a four seed, so you do have to consider that like they were a four seed for a reason, but going into it, they were very evidently not a four seed. Like it was like they were probably favored to get out of the region. I remember go to the Final Four. This is interesting. I think on paper, matchup wise, oh, this is tough. I want to say UConn on paper, but I don't know.
The thing is, I think I'm leaning UConn in this game, and I think I'm holding Virginia's run against them. They did that. I mean, obviously in the tournament you have things go your way, and that team was really good. Don't get me wrong, but like that was the year they had the foul in the corner in the
Oh,
Auburn
the free
game.
throws, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And like, yeah, it's UConn. Like when they got to the Elite Eight versus Gonzaga, I remember they like beat them by like 30, and that at that point I was like, they are gonna walk to a national title right now. And I will say that that Final Four was garbage. They got to play Miami and then San Diego State or FAU ended up being San Diego State. So like they were the second they got beat Gonzaga by 30, they were always gonna win the national championship. 2023 UConn. Like the Final Four was so bad. Not that any other team would have beaten them at that point anyway, but I don't love that they had to play San Diego State in the national championship in terms of legacy status. And player for player, it actually is pretty close, I feel like. But like Sonogo was a monster. Jordan Hawkins, on paper, the UConn team I think is better.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give the edge to the UConn one in this, even though that Virginia team was really good. But also, like we're having a discussion on a bracket of national championship teams. We're probably gonna have a lot of moments where we're matching up with some really good teams. This
Yeah,
might be my favorite matchup out of the
this
first round.
this is so unfair. This
Why do
one,
we have to
damn.
choose?
Like I would, you could people. There are probably people out there that would say if you just had eight of these teams here, like in a list, that these are the two in the finals. No, if you had to like pick and choose one and two.
Yep. So we have
So
2021 Baylor, which is one of the, I mean, incredible run. Beating was Gonzaga undefeated at the time they beat them?
I think
Or
so.
or maybe they had one loss, maybe, but I'm
Maybe
not.
because of COVID and they had a loss. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
but
check.
that Baylor team was incredible, and they made that Gonzaga team look very, very bad. And then
No,
obviously,
you got it right. They were 31-1 at the end of the season. They almost lost to UCLA, obviously, but
yep, exact man. And then that 2018 Villanova team, which obviously Jalen Brunson, one of the better college basketball point guard players of all time, just a very well-rounded team.
I have a
I
question for you on this actually.
yeah.
Do you think that the NBA status of the Villanova players changes people's thoughts on this team's legacy, even though
Yes.
they were awesome? Like it definitely does, right?
Yeah, it does. With all due respect, like Jalen Brunson is one of the greatest winners and players in college basketball history, but I do think people see what he's doing right now in the NBA and think he was kind of doing that at Villanova, where he really wasn't. He was more like a very like
Yeah.
consummate point guard. He got others involved. I think like even in the year like where he had his best year at Villanova, it wasn't like any crazy stats like that.
He was great. He was pretty easily the player of the year. I remember the same kind of thing, and they were just so good. The same thing for Josh Hart, Mikal, and like all those guys that have played with him throughout the years. Like they were good, but they weren't like in college. They weren't like these unbelievable players. I think Mikal was probably the best one of all of them.
Right.
But they also had like Pascal and like DiVincenzo, and like Spellman.
DiVincenzo.
Damn, his team is good. Colin Gillespie was young, but he was on the team, so I don't think that counts as much.
Right.
But we haven't talked about Baylor yet at all.
Yeah, and that Baylor team was just
They
incredibly put together. Just truly, like Mark Vital is the greatest like glue man of all time.
love him.
Davion Mitchell, Macio T, Jared Butler, that three guard combination was just like
LJ Cryer and Adam Flagler on that
right.
team too. Like
Oh, yeah, those guys were on the
I
bench.
stand on it. They definitely would have been undefeated the entire season if it wasn't for COVID. I stand on it. I say it all the time. People know that about me. 2021 Baylor is the best college basketball team I've ever seen in my life.
Duh, I mean,
I'll say that in a heartbeat.
it's not crazy to say that team was truly special.
That's my
Man,
pick. I just like think about how good they were on both sides of the ball. They were so menacing. Like if you put them match up also against Nova on top without even considering the resume and like what they
yeah.
went through that year, they wouldn't lock up, I think, Brunson and Devo and Bridges and stuff, but I think they would do a pretty damn good job. And they shot the lights out. Oh my God.
See that's where I'm coming from. That's why I lean Baylor in this one. Like, dog, Davion Mitchell's nickname was Off Night. Like he would have been up. Like Brunson obviously wouldn't have got shut down. Brunson was
Yeah.
that 2018 year. Sometimes I forget because he won it as a freshman, and he's like a 9 point a game guy. But he started a lot of games. The his senior or his junior year, whatever that was, the last year in college he was like 19 a game and All American, National Player of the Year, all that. So, it's a tough pick. I think I lean Baylor though now, especially because to me that Gonzaga team was so good. The
Oh,
fact that Baylor made that Gonzaga team look the way they looked is, I think, speaks to their greatness.
yeah. And Houston too. They did the same thing in the Final
Yeah,
Four game. They beat Houston by like 30. They brought the walk-ons on against Houston. And
yeah.
Houston wasn't the same Houston it is now. It was AAC Houston, but still like they we if you yeah, I'm going Baylor for sure. We might have different brackets if you don't, but I Baylor's unbelievable. They were unbelievable. They were so good.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm going Baylor too. We did get to see Zach Loveday in the tournament because they beat Houston that bad. All right, moving back to the other side, we have 2025 Florida matching up with 2024 UConn.
Man, we talked about runs before, like tournament runs who you had to play.
Hmm.
2025 Florida had a last year's Florida team had a shakier run for sure at times than UConn did at 24. I think it was harder to win this year than it was for UConn that year, but I can't hold that against them. They were so good the entire season. So was Florida, but I had more doubt in Florida. Maybe that is because the other teams they had to play were better than what UConn had to play in 2024. But again, not going to hold that against UConn. So my I lean UConn here. What do you think?
It's UConn for me too, and I love
Yeah.
last year's Florida team. Don't get me wrong, but they did need Walter Clayton to do amazing things. They were on the
Yeah.
ropes against a couple teams. That UConn run, they were like the way they embarrass really good basketball team. Like they had a
Illinois.
30-0 run against Illinois. Like and
Here's
Illinois was good. Terrence Shannon and them.
here's my question. If this was 2025 Duke and they were analytically like the best team ever, and like because analytically and on paper, if Duke had basically not lost to Houston and that collapsed, say they win the national championship, we probably look at them better than we would 2025 Florida as a champion. So
That's fact.
would that change your answer or no?
Oh, you hitting me with this is special. Um, mm, I
I don't
think
know if it would for me. I think it'd be like 50-50.
it'd be it'd be closer than it is with UConn
Yeah.
and Florida. I think I would still go that 2024 UConn team though, because that was year two Tristan Newton, right, with Stephon
He was
Castle.
so good, yeah.
Like what?
All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, let's go 21. Let's go 24 UConn. All right, back to the other side. So we got 24 UConn in the title game for this on one side. They will be matching up with either 2023 UConn or 2021 Baylor. I think I know your
Not a
answer here.
question. not a question at all.
It's
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 literally not a question.
It's
Yeah.
Baylor for me.
Yeah.
That 23 UConn team was good. Don't get me wrong with like Sonoga, but like you stated earlier, the fact that they were a little bit shakier that year. They played Cinder like that Final Four really tanked things for me. Like I understand like part of it is having Cinderella's story, but the fact that that Final Four was the teams that it was, and that's who UConn had to play to get there. That 2021 Baylor team was just different to me. Also, they were
Yeah.
playing in a pandemic for God's sake, like the mental toll that took on them as well. So we got 2021 Baylor matching up with 2024 UConn. This might be the only spot that you and I differ because you already said that 2021 Baylor was the best team you've ever
It,
seen.
that's gonna be my answer, but like yes, but when you match up paper, player for player and stuff like that, this is a crazy game. The defense in this game on both ends of the floor would be unbelievable. I like I said, you said it. I shouldn't have said anything. 2021 Baylor is the best team I've ever seen, so I'm gonna stand on that.
I love that from you. This is the only pick we're gonna differ on this bracket. I'm gonna lean
Okay.
24 UConn. I just think that that team was so well put together, and also I think that in a game like this, I think the coaching matchups tilted one way more than the other one. Now maybe
You
I'm
think
holding it now.
so?
Now I gotta put 2021 Scott Drew in my eyesight and not for
Yeah,
Scott Drew to do
yeah.
it to me. You're right. All right, yeah, I'm leaning
Think
to it.
about that. Think about that no middle defense that they would run, and then
No, they were
hey,
they were so good, man. God, who
dude,
so
damn. I literally just made a video. It's in the drafts about the 2020 tournament and what we missed out on, and people don't realize that Baylor and Kansas were the best teams in the country that year with like Gonzaga, and Baylor ended up winning the title in 21, but basically their entire team was there in 2020 also.
like we could have been looking at like a situation where we have 2023, 2024 UConn here. It could have been 2020, 2021 Baylor back to back. There's a very
But they
real
might have left. Maybe they all went to the draft in 2020 if that happened too.
That's very true. All right, so Ryan's winner, 2021 Baylor. My winner, 2024 UConn. Everyone's a winner though, because that was a very fun exercise. Appreciate you participating in that one with me, Ryan. Topic number two today, we are doing a matchmaking exercise here with Auburn players. Obviously, Bruce Pearl steps down. Stephen Pearl, his son, takes over. With the new rules and how it operates, players have 30 days, I believe, of an open transfer portal window to go elsewhere. Now, given the fact that the season starts very, very soon, very highly unlikely that any players actually do leave in this scenario. But just because we want to do a fun exercise, I want to pick five players and place them in destinations you would like to place them on if Auburn players was to leave. Sound good?
That sounds great. Yes.
All right, let's start with Todd Pettiford, obviously the star of the team.
Yeah. This is an interesting one because like I feel like SEC fits him so well, offensive style in terms of like culture and stuff like that too. But at the same time, he's Jersey kid. He's kind of like from the mud a little bit, and he's gritty like that. I wanted to do this in terms of a basketball point of view, right? Like on the court. I thought of some interesting ones. Michigan and Michigan State were actually two interesting ones. I know we know he's boys with Elliott, New Jersey
Mhm.
kids and same age, but I don't hate that one. I like Michigan State a little bit also, give them some offensive firepower. I know you like the sound of that a little
No,
bit.
please.
My answer is a little off the radar. Iowa State was my answer
Ooh, okay.
because they're going to be good. Again, Todd Pettiford is never going to go play in Ames, Iowa. But on the court, just in the basketball facility, Tamin Lipsey is not an offensive demon, right? They had Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert last year, but he's an unbelievable playmaker and defender. I think Tahad is similar as a playmaker a little bit, but he's the exact kind of opposite offensive player, and I think they would be really nice next to each other. On top of the fact that they are going to be good, Milan Momcilovic, Josh Jefferson, like they have good size in the front court. You know, defense is going to be good. I think a hard-nosed coach like Bruce Pearl was, you get in TJ Otzelberger in ways a little bit in the right way. I think that would be awesome for the team, and I actually think it would be great for Tahad too, because he would immediately be the best offensive player, and he'd have two front court guys that are really good to play off of too. So my answer under the radar is Iowa State.
That's a good one. All right, I think for Tahad, for me, see, it's interesting because all these rosters are so like just put together at this point. But I would
Exactly.
like Rick Pitino to stop lying and actually have a point guard on the team. So send him to St. John's. Saying I know he's boys with Ian Jackson playing in the Garden, New Jersey area kid. Maybe he wants to play in that area. I also thought about Texas Tech just because For me, I like what the Red Raiders are doing, but Darion Williams was like that third piece, and they have Christian Anderson. So maybe the Christian Anderson, you got to figure out how that works out together, but that would give them a big three necessarily. Like you would have
Yeah.
Tahad, Christian Anderson, JT Toppin.
That team would be crazy. And like they got like Lawan Watson and guys too. Like that team would be absolutely they would play four guards and JT top in half the time.
And then honestly, that'd be fun for me. So both of us sending Tahad to a Big 12 school. Send him to a really
Mhm.
good conference. That makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
Next, let's do Keyshawn Hall, the player who has transferred a lot already. So
Okay. I want you to go first.
all right. So for me, there's never been a more match made in heaven. This was the easiest one for me. Send him to Kansas State. There's no more match made in heaven than Keyshawn Hall and Jerome Tang. I have no notes. That was the easiest one for me.
Yeah, I don't know where I would have sent him. I think like if Ty and Grant Foster wasn't going to Gonzaga, which I think he's still good to play there, right? Like I would probably put him there because I think they could use a bucket like that. I still might put him at Gonzaga. I'll say Baylor also as a sleeper, just because like it's similar to K-State in a sense where like they had nobody returning. They kind of just got whoever they could, and they probably aren't going to be great this year.
Mhm.
So similar to what he did at UCF in the Big 12, just probably a step up and under a better coach. No shade to Coach Dawkins, but I think that'd be cool for Keyshawn Hall to still be a bucket in the Big 12, but not on a great team, so he can still kind of do his thing a little bit. So I'll say
Yeah,
Baylor.
okay. I like that one. I like that one. All right, moving down here. Let's do the other Keyshawn over here. Let's do Keyshawn Murphy, the transfer coming in from Mississippi State.
Yeah, this was tougher for me because like you said, a lot of the teams are already put together, and if they have bigs, like he's got to be the first guy off the bench then, which most schools he probably wouldn't go to then.
Hmm.
I went to school thinking about schools. I thought about Louisville. I went under the radar though.
Ooh.
Virginia Tech is my answer here
Ah.
because I don't hate their roster. I like their roster, especially once they added Nicholas Avdelas.
Hmm.
But they don't have size at all. Like Amani Hansberry might be starting as their biggest guy, and like guys like that. If they had a center, I'd be very excited for them. I actually think they could be a dangerous team, and I think he's a guy center, do the dirty work, be a good center, not a great center, but be good size and rebounding and force. So I like Virginia Tech.
Yeah, okay. I like those two good as also great pronunciation on Neo on that. I
Great.
just say Neo all the time because I don't want to push it.
Nicholas Avdelas, is I
That
just
that actually is what it is. I'm very, very
okay.
impressed.
There we go.
Kudos to you. So I had two plays here. I like the ones you picked, especially Louisville, because I think, put in with like a Sonata Frew, like you have some really good
Mm.
front court pieces there.
Hmm.
I went selfish on here. I don't want to start Carson Cooper. So send him to Michigan State. He could immediately start. He can immediately be my center. He rebounds well. He shot blocks. Izzo would absolutely love him. I think it also brings some great size. And then my second pick was actually Indiana. Just because I think they need an actual, like they're probably gonna play Reed Bailey at the five. It might be like Reed Bailey and Sam Alexis in the front court. I think they could use some size and some
Yeah.
rebounding on that team. So uh I say Michigan State or Indiana, but I'll land on Michigan State for him. I think he'd be good. Like I said, upgrade over Carson Cooper. All due
Okay.
respect,
Okay.
Carson. All right, moving down the list here. Let's go Kevin Overton.
Interesting. So this was a tough one. He's kind of like a weird player too. He's kind of like a forward, but he's the size of a guard, plays a little
Yeah,
guard, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing,
kind of like
depending on the team.
connector piece type guy on a good team.
So he was at Texas Tech last year. He was at Drake before that, but not for the Bennett Sturts, Ben McCullum team. That being said, I still want to put him in Iowa with the Drake connection that he didn't play with because I think they could use a little more talent, a little more ability, and I think flexibility, versatility on the wing would be a great add for them because their talent, their roster is not super talented. Like they're going to be one of the least talented rosters in the Big Ten. They still are going to finish much higher than that than their talent says. But adding another guy like that, I think would go well as being like, hey, we Drake boys, we OVO, so
Right,
it's all
right.
good.
We're repping it all through.
Yeah,
I actually like that, and I'm gonna piggyback on that because I do think too, to me, Kevin Overton is and this is not a negative connotation, like I always say, he is the perfect role guy. He's a role guy. He
hmm
he knows who he is. He can do what he does. He does the dirty work. I think you need players like that around a Bennett Sturts that can just basically just be things that increase what he does and would increase his skill set and put that on full display. So I'll go with Iowa as well. And then last but not least, we got Bashir.
Listen, just throw him with Abdi at K State, and they can both just score, try to score 40 a
Yeah,
game. That'd be
family's
fun.
family.
I would say I know they're from out by like they're out from Omaha, and they've been in Minnesota a bunch too. I'm trying to think of schools like that. Like None of them really stuck with me. So I think at a maybe not a mid major, but an A10 school, a really good one would be perfect because I kind of want to see him be able to be like a little bit more like translate right away a little bit more. I think he will be good, Abdul, at Auburn, but we talked about it. There's so many buckets and bucket getters at Auburn that like it's not going to be so easy and consistent. Um, I would say Dayton or VCU, and I like the VCU sound better because Dayton's roster is more put together, and Martelli coming over from Bryant with a couple of players, but still a little bit of a gap to fill at VCU, and you know they're going to be good. It's the VCU Voodoo Magic, no matter what whoever the coach is. I like him at VCU as an underrated option.
Yeah, I like that option a lot too. Also, I don't know if you and I are on the same page here, but VCU was actually my pick as well.
No,
Uh,
I really
just
had no
ba
idea.
just based off this and this alone, I was just massive on VCU this year with like Ahmad Noel coming in and the freshman Nick Lewis, and I haven't been hearing like rave reviews from those guys, and I think that Martelli's a good coach. I enjoyed watching him. When Bryant played Michigan State last year, I think he's a guy that's going to be pretty good at VCU, and that style is going to fit. So yeah, I think at VCU he can do exactly what he wants to do, have the ball in his hands, be a bucket getter, be one of the highest scoring players in the A10, get to the tournament. You don't want to face that
Mm.
team, be a fun upset pick if you want to pick VCU. I think it works out. I really like that fit. Lastly, I'll end this. Do you think any of these guys actually do bolt here?
I think maybe lower on the roster they could, but I don't think I don't. I'll say no. If the under over is a half, I'll say under before the season, like in the next 30 days. I just think like they've been playing this for a while, realistically, right? And everything is staying the same. The coaching staff is staying the same. Stephen Pearl, they've every guy that got recruited to Auburn under Bruce, they knew Stephen just as early as they knew Bruce, if not earlier. So I don't think that is going to change their comfort at all. And it's too late. It's September, so it ain't going to be easy. What about you?
Yeah, no, hammer the under. I don't think anyone leaves. They knew this was happening. I think everyone knew this has been a rumor for so long. Like they knew what was going on. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe a walk on here might ditch
Yeah,
for somewhere else. But outside of that, I think it's going to be pretty status quo. But
yeah.
yeah, fun exercise. Interested to see the Stephen Pearl era take its path here at Auburn now. Third and final topic of the day is a first in college basketball. The G League Ignite guard Thierry Darlan was ruled eligible by the NCAA and now will be playing at Santa Clara, I believe it is this season, becoming the first professional basketball player to go back to college. So basically, he chose the G League Ignite route, which is basically professional basketball. Things didn't, I guess, necessarily work out for him there to where he is now going back to play college basketball and now will go to Santa Clara. I think it'll be a junior eligibility wise and how it goes. Ryan, I have some pretty poignant thoughts on this. I think that's the right
Go
word to
ahead.
use
I'll
here.
let you start off then.
Uh, I can't get with this. I can't get with this. Listen, I understand that, this is a good opportunity for kids that maybe don't necessarily like the route that they chose. But to me, like every decision and, especially big decisions like this have consequences. And if you are able to have these guys kind of come in who are professionals all the time and come back to play college sports, like even to the point where it's like we're seeing these 25-year-old international guys come over and play college basketball. And it's like, at what point is it going to be there's not enough separation between like the college athletics and like these professionals coming over to play. So, obviously I think that, he's going to be able to have a chance to play at Santa Clara. And shout out to my dog, Garrick Norman, Michigan State transfer. I'll be watching Santa Clara this season for sure. But what do you take from this happening? And then I guess the rule in general.
Yeah, well, Santa Clara is gonna be fun, extra fun to watch, and they're like, I'll start off this Darlan going there, like they're an NBA factory, right? Like between Jalen Williams developing there, Pajemski transferring down to go there, Adama Ball has been kind of on NBA radars a little bit over the last couple of years. Like I get that vision. Um, Flip it to what topic is really about here. I hear you, and I'm with you for the most part here because like the pros coming over from Europe, I don't love either. I do not like that at all because especially the top, like when you have a guy who's like 17 or 18 realistically plays a year in like the second division in like Bosnia, that's not the end of the world to me because they're playing in a lower tier in a really weird league. They're super young and still college age freshman or sophomore. Like but it's hard to draw a line at like age or something like that because of that. This is similar to that. I know people think like, oh, he's basically an NBA player. Like, no, he chose not to go to college and then go the G League Ignite route, like Scoot and Marjon Beauchamp and guys and Dyson Daniels that have gone to the NBA. Now you can still go like Dink Pate did through the like, he went through like Mexico City Capitanes and stuff like that. Um, he's seen as a non-NBA pro player who never declared for the draft or never went through the draft process because he's tested waters, but then he kind of withdrawn and still been a prospect in the eyes of the NBA, right? Like when a guy declares for the NBA draft as an Ignite guy, even if he doesn't get drafted, he's officially in the world of the NBA, two-way world, whatever that is, where Darlan is seen as a prospect. He was not able to play in the NBA this year. Like he would never be able to play on NBA roster because he's not eligible to do that. Never declared for the draft, never went through that process, or never stayed in that process, to my knowledge. So that part I kind of understand because if they're going to let the pros come in from Europe, they're going to have this is going to happen. But it's also a very small handful. The Ignite is not a thing anymore. So you're going to get 2 or 3 guys eligible to do this every year, and they play in the G League. Then they come to college because it's better to go to college, get paid, and then maybe get to the NBA if it's a better situation for you. Um, I rambled a little bit, but that's my like devil's advocate, I think, for like the NCAA's ruling.
Mhm.
I don't think any of them should be allowed in. Like if the 22-year-olds, whatever, like leave them in Europe, let them go the European route to get to the NBA, like Topic and all these guys have before them. And let the G League guys that choose the G League route go that route because it's not the same as OTE. Someone said like, "Oh, it's like going to OTE instead of college." Like, no, 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 no. Majority of OTE are high school players. That's not how this works.
Right.
But it's interesting. It's weird. I really hope they don't get into a world where they're like, we're going to take guys that went through the draft process and because they got undrafted and have never played in the NBA, we're going to allow them in. That would
Right.
be the real bad thing. And I think this is potentially the start of that, but I'm going to hope that it's not. And I think that's too much of a jump to do that. So,
Right.
don't like it, don't love it, but I don't think it's the end of the world, honestly.
See, that's my portion of it too. That scares me is what it's going to lead to. It's going to, because to me, it's going to lead to guys that don't get drafted can basically come back to college. And then, like, at what point, like, justice for the high school kids, man? Goddamn, like, they want
Sucks.
to get recruited too. Like, they literally are fighting for their lives. They're fighting against portal players. They're fighting against international players. Then they got to fight against guys that chose another route and then are coming back. Like, eventually, like, damn, like, when are we going to get the classic great freshmen anymore?
And that's why, like, off topic, Ryan Mesh going to Siena, 4-star recruit. That is they're going to be a trend, I think, where you start to see more high level freshmen go mid major and non power route early because they know that there's a 10% chance they're going to get the PT they want at a power school and then transfer down if in the 90 percentile of likelihood. So
Mm.
why not just go that 90% from the beginning and then have an extra year like to work under for upside and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be what you see more of.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see the ripple effects of this. And unfortunately, like with things like this, not unfortunately, but like usually things like this are a sign of things to come and how it works out. And obviously, shout out to Darren, shout out to Terry. He's just taking advantage of the rule. So I'm not even mad at him.
Right.
This is what you should
Exactly.
like. This if this like it's not like he's doing something crazy. This is the rule. I'm surprised more people haven't taken advantage of this in this who are in the Ignite program because it is no more.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun thing there. Interesting to see what he looks like with Santa Clara this year. But I need the NCAA to do something a little bit. Let's get off our hands a little bit. And let's start doing some things and let's make some things right here, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, please.
Ryan, that was a great episode, my friend. We always end these episodes with one big thing, and that could be anything you want it to be. The floor is yours. What is your one big thing today?
I just want to not to get egotistical, shout out myself for being resilient this week. Not only do I have a very large platform to live up to here on the Sleepers podcast, where I'm not G Wizzy. People thought it was going to be Dion, and it's not, and now it's me. But I'm here. But also, last week I had a dental surgery done, and the same day that happened, I was on a bunch of painkillers. I had to get stitches in my finger at the hospital because I sliced my. I'll give you a nice little look on the camera.
Yeah, what's
Is that
going on here?
gonna focus? There you go. Look at
Ooh,
that because I slice a knife cutting dishes. So I just wanted to shout out my own resilience. I not to be egotistical, but I think I've done a great job and I powered through adversity.
honestly, we're all about powering through adversity here, whether it's Wi-Fi, whether it's hurting ourselves, whether it's dense. Ryan, are you gonna? I'm in awe of how you did this. Also, how did you cut yourself?
I was washing dishes and a really good Japanese steak knife kind of
Ooh.
fell off of a little bit of a tower that I didn't see and it sliced me. So
And he's a man that does it. Look, he's doing things at home. He's getting stuff done, doing this. Look at you, man. Good on
uh,
you. Good on you for bouncing back.
tell Jess that and she's happy I was doing the dishes in the first place. So
It's special, but that's what happens when you do this. Is thing you get hurt doing those things. They don't really understand that. My one big thing today is I was very proud of my son. I took him to California, and he is officially my son. We're not beach guys. We're not. He didn't rock with the sand. He's a
okay.
pool guy. That made me very proud on the inside. My wife was a little bit disappointed that he didn't like the beach a little bit more. But I'm not a sand guy, and I'm especially not a sand guy with a mobile toddler because he sees the sand and
Oh,
he's just grabbing sand, and I'm just like, this is not what we need. But fun
that's
trip.
that's good for being someone like you don't have the beach very accessible, so he would be void he'd be deprived of beach access if he had loved it.
Is that look at grandma and grandpa work very very hard to have a pool at their house. We don't have to go to beaches. We have
There
a
you go.
we have a pool access, a heated pool, might I say, as well.
Oh, come on.
So
Come on.
absolutely no
You can get
need.
a sand pit if you really need to also. It's okay.
Oh God, I hope he doesn't get any ideas. My wife doesn't get any ideas. But hey, fun episode. Be sure to tune in to tomorrow's episode. We are on here 5 days a week as always. Ryan, thank you for joining, my friend.
Appreciate you as always.